Hey, it's Crypto Bobby, and Bitcoin is now above $9,000 right now, trading just below $9,200 actually. And as Bitcoin has continued to move up and move up, it has been incredible to see. It's been pretty crazy to watch the price of Bitcoin continue to move in an upward direction. But as that's continued to do so, as Bitcoin has gone through the roof, one thing that I've started to see, and you've seen it for a long time if you've been in the crypto world, but this is going to continue to happen, especially as Bitcoin is above $9,000, pushes towards $10,000, and especially if Bitcoin breaks $10,000, which I think it has a very good likelihood of doing so in the near future here, is the Bitcoin bubble talk, cryptocurrency bubble talk, and what that might mean for you as somebody who is invested in the space or considering being invested in the space. So I want to talk a little bit about what it means today when people talk about a cryptocurrency bubble and how you can potentially protect yourself, and taking a look back historically at some things as well. So let's get into that discussion today. Now, if we're looking at the overall market capitalization for cryptocurrency, I'll pull this up. In the past year, in the past 365 days, Bitcoin has gone from being worth $13 billion, the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization has gone from being worth, on November 26th of 2016, the entire crypto market cap that included Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Ripple, everything, was $13.7 billion. The market capitalization today, granted, there are new entrants to the market like Bitcoin Cash, like Bitcoin Gold, like a lot of the new ICO'd cryptocurrencies, all those, but the entire market capitalization today is $285 billion. So a significant movement, over 20x basically. And the volume today, in the past 24 hours, is almost $10 billion. The volume in the past 24 hours has almost exceeded the market cap on that specific day a year ago, which is pretty crazy to think about. And because of this growth, because of this ridiculous growth, I don't think there's any other way to say it. If there's just, it's outrageous how fast it's moved and how much money people have made on the way up, because this has been, name another asset class on the planet really right now where you can get 10, 20x in the course of a year. Like 10, 20, 30, 50x if you've invested in a good cryptocurrency. And that's just in the past year. That's not even going back 5 years or whatever it might be, as far back as we want to go with potentially Bitcoin and some of these other cryptocurrencies out there. But that's just in the past year. So as we look at this, like I said, there's going to be increasing. I'm seeing it on Twitter now. I'm seeing it on Twitter right now. I'm seeing it with a lot of other mainstream news articles where Bitcoin is above $9,000. Bitcoin is pushing $10,000. It's a bubble. When is it going to pop? You're going to start seeing the big financial players in the space, whether it's Jamie Dimon, whether it's other people out there, going to continue to talk about bubble, bubble, bubble. And when you talk about a bubble, there's a number of different ways that it can be categorized. There's a number of different ways that can be drawn out. But I think one thing that's interesting is this picture right here. And I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little bit better here. But this is something that I think is a pretty interesting visual approach to bubbles in any type of speculative or economic market here. And when you look at this, you can, in a lot of cases, think, where are we? Where have we come from? And how has this moved forward? Right now, if we're looking at the charts, if you pull that back up, this market capitalization, you might be looking at this right now and you might be thinking, oh, wow, we're all the way up here at $285 billion. Holy cow, we're at this delusional greed new paradigm phase, and then we're going to crash down a little bit, hit denial, we're going to go, and then we're going to crash back down again. And that might be, people might think right now we're in a mania phase. And in some respect, I think we definitely are in a mania phase. However, I think interestingly enough, when we're looking at this bubble diagram, a lot of the institutional money has still not gotten into the space yet. I think that's one really interesting differentiation, is there is not a lot of institutional money into the space, and they are on the sidelines waiting for the custodian services to get into the space. So I almost feel like when we're looking at this diagram, the smart money was definitely in early. There is smart money that's been in cryptocurrency that has been in for a long time, but the smart money has already been in. But the public and the institutional investors, I almost think, are flip-flopped here, where the public is in a lot of cases before the institutional investors. And that has a little bit of a kind of different scenario here than you'd see normally, because usually the public are the ones that, if we're talking about the IPO boom and the dot-com bubble, the institutional investors were in first, the public hops in, and the public is the one that just gets crushed as there's all this delusion and greed, and the public is excited and enthused, and everybody's making money, and they can't miss. The institutional investors are the ones that might be holding, in some cases, the retail investor and the public bags going forward. Now, one interesting thing here going forward as well is this cycle may be developing right now. We might be in a mania phase. I think that's definitely a possibility. We might be in a mania phase. But this isn't the first time that this cycle has played out in some cases in crypto. If we go back here, this is back in 2013 to, we could say, like 2015 or so. But we can stretch this out a little bit. Back in, this is actually when I got into crypto. Basically, this is really when I got into cryptocurrency, the first bubble of crypto. And this is the exact kind of point in time where I got really interested in crypto, because early on, there was pretty minimal people that knew a lot about it. There weren't a ton of people that had knowledge about it, unless you were buying drugs on Silk Road, or unless you were very much an intelligent, in-the-know person and read a specific subset of blogs, until kind of the mainstream, like Business Insider, TechCrunch, all those places started picking it up. This is when I found out about cryptocurrency, back in November of 2013, when crypto, the entire market cap went from being under $2 billion, mostly all Bitcoin, to being worth about $14 billion. And this, in a lot of cases, could be considered a very rapid bubble cycle here as well, whereas the smart money, there was the people initially invested in the stealth phase, and the awareness phase quickly happened. Mania went nuts, and then there was the new paradigm. Everybody was talking about Bitcoin. Everybody was talking about cryptocurrency. And then for a long time, there was a blow-off phase here of multiple years. So if you zoom out a little bit here, there was a number of, basically anywhere between when Bitcoin was created and up until 2013, you could almost consider that as the stealth phase, smart money phase. And then that went through the roof in November, December, and then cooled off significantly, and there was denial, and then it just basically went into a state of despair all the way up until in some cases, let's say, in some cases, probably mid-2015, where the market just didn't go anywhere, and there wasn't a ton of excitement around some aspects of cryptocurrency. But you could see this bubble cycle playing out a little bit there. So the real question is, if this is a bubble, where are we in this paradigm? Are we still in the takeoff phase? Have we gotten to our first sell-off? Have we gotten into a bear trap? We've already obviously gotten media attention. Are we firmly in the mania phase, where we're just totally totally in a state of delusion, thinking that this is going to go to trillions and trillions of dollars? Or are we still early on and still smart money, because the institutional investors are not? Are we potentially here? Is everybody watching this video still smart money, even though the total market capitalization is $285 billion? That's the question, and I think that's what is really important to potentially answer, because that is going to determine how much more upside could potentially be as we continue to move forward. And that's something that you want to take into consideration. Now, the one thing that I will say is, regardless of where we are, if we are at the new paradigm phase or the delusion phase right now, or if we're still in the smart money phase, any money that you invest in crypto is money that you should not be afraid to potentially lose and potentially part with. If we are indeed at the denial phase right now, or the new paradigm phase, and we're at the tippy top of the marketplace, and the cryptocurrency market crashes 50% or 75%, if that happens, I'm fine with it. It's going to kick me in the balls. It's going to suck, but I'm fine with it, because I've mentally prepared myself for that. However, if you are mortgaging off your house or taking out a loan to buy more cryptocurrency and you're doing crazy things like that, traditionally in the past year, if you took out a loan, if you took out a second mortgage on your house and threw it all into crypto, you probably can retire right now and buy back your house. And I saw this joke on Twitter. You can also buy back your wife because she already left you because you're an idiot and you mortgage your house for cryptocurrency. But that move paid off in the past year. That doesn't mean it's going to pay off again. So you need to mentally prepare yourself if the market does correct significantly. Are you okay with that? Are you financially in a place where you'll be okay with that? And like I said, in the past year, if you made crazy aggressive moves in crypto where you put your financial future at risk, that risk paid off because the market has gone basically nowhere but up. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to continue to go up, so you just need to be mentally prepared for that if indeed the bubble does pop and you aren't able to protect yourself. So for me, what does that mean? Like I said, I have the money in crypto that I'm not afraid to lose. If Bitcoin goes down 80%, if it goes down 90%, I'm still covering my initial investment and I'm still paying my mortgage and I am still fine financially. If Bitcoin continues to go up, then awesome. But that's just something that I've mentally come to terms with, and I think you should as well, especially if you're newer in the space and you've never seen these movements before, because they have happened before and they potentially can happen again, and they probably will happen again. Trees don't grow to the sky always. Somebody might come, the regulators might come and chop that tree down, and then it might take a year to grow back up, or 2 years or 3 years. If you got to wait 3 years to recover the price of your investment, is that something you're okay with? You need to mentally prepare yourself for that. Now, outside of that, guys, I just really wanted to talk a little bit about this today because I think as we continue to move forward in the crypto, Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto asset world, and as Bitcoin might go over $10,000, which it looks like could potentially happen here in the very near future, we're literally, as of this second, hitting a brand new all-time high as I'm recording this, literally hitting a brand new all-time high. So there's going to be more and more media hype around this. And when you are looking at this, I'm sure a good bit of that media hype is going to be saying bubble. What does a bubble mean for you? Hopefully this video was a little bit helpful in terms of talking a little bit about what a bubble might mean. And if it corrects, if it goes down, how you can just mentally prepare yourself for that or financially prepare yourself, because this could definitely have a significant size correction. And if it does, you need to be prepared. You need to be smart about it. And you probably shouldn't be mortgaging your house again to get into crypto with Bitcoin at $9,000. So thank you so much for your time. If you are new to the channel, my name is Crypto Bobby. I do daily videos on the subject of crypto, and then I also do YouTube live crypto happy hours. So hit that subscribe button for that and hit the little notify bell next to it as well. So when I do a YouTube live, you get the little notification when I'm live, so you can come in and ask as many questions as you have. Hopefully we can talk a little bit about what's going on in that day-to-day world and go from there. Thank you so much for your time. Crypto Bobby signing out. Peace.